The Barbados Defense Force providing critical security services at sea, on land, and in cyberspace. The island's latest hit-and-run prompts an appeal from the Barbados Road Safety Association. And in sports, West Indies level the ODI Series against Pakistan.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good night to you with CBC NewsNight. I'm Kimberly Skeed. More than a ton of illegal contraband has been interdicted by the Barbados Defense Force, reinforcing its position as a major player in the island's security system. Chief of Staff Brigadier Carlos Lovell made the revelation as he pointed out the critical work being done by the BDF to secure Barbados' interest at sea, on land, and in cyberspace. Rochelle Agard has that story.
Over the past year, the Barbados Defense Force has achieved many successes in the maritime, land, and cyber domains. Chief of Staff Brigadier Carlos Lovell says his soldiers remain committed to serving the country steadfastly. He was speaking during the BDF's 46th anniversary church service under the theme Committed and Courageous in Service at the St. Matthias Anglican Church.
In the maritime space, the Coast Guard has interdicted over a ton of illegal contraband destined for the streets of Barbados, the region, and the United States. On land, the Barbados Regiment has worked in support of the Barbados Police Service to bring violent criminals to justice, to seize dangerous illegal firearms, and to maintain law and order, even in the face of the spike in violent crime. The BDF has significantly contributed to this country's efforts to develop a credible and comprehensive cybersecurity capability to protect our nation's interests in the cyber domain.
And Brigadier Lovell says they will soon be partnering with the Ministry of Educational Transformation to steer some of the nation's youths from a life of crime.
Not only will the Barbados Cadet Corps see a continued and significant increase in membership, but the BDF will soon partner with the Ministry of Educational Transformation in the Barbados Youth Upliftment Program to help save some of our young people from resorting to a life of crime.
Priest in charge of St. Matthias, the Reverend E. Brian Thompson, reminds the soldiers to continue to serve the country with honor and dignity. And he urges them to remain a strong unit.
Each of you, through your courage and selflessness, inspires us all and exemplifies what it means to stand firm in the pursuit of justice and peace. You are often called upon not to fight and defend this country at war, something we hope that you'll never have to do, but to assist the members of the Barbados Police Service in keeping law and order in this country. And only last week you were doing just that as we concluded our crop over activities. And this is the type of commitment that you make without a blink of an eye.
After the church service, the salute by BDF soldiers was taken by Acting President, the Very Reverend Dr. Jeffrey Gibson, while other dignitaries looked on. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
A fatal hit-and-run accident has prompted an appeal from the Barbados Road Safety Association for the motorists involved to do the right thing by contacting the police. The association's president, Roland Lowe, is also urging all motorists to be careful and considerate on the road. His comments comes after the Barbados Police Service says the District B station received a report of a body lying motionless along Watts Village Road, St. George, at around 11:30 p.m. last evening. Personnel from the ambulance service examined the body and found no signs of life, and a medical doctor subsequently pronounced the person dead. Mr. Lowe has this advice for the driver.
We ask persons to always look here, consideration, and to look out for other road users. In situations like this, we know that sometimes persons might be in shock, do not use the best judgment in this situation, but just remember that this is somebody's family member, this is somebody's friend, and somebody's loved one. That person will want closure. And the right thing to do is to come forward. Come forward, go to the police, and let them know exactly what took place. And we also, in general, just want a person to drive with due care and attention. On the road, as I said before, there's a hierarchy on the road. You have to look out for pedestrians and look out for other persons who are using the road as well as you.
The Barbados Association of Retailers, Vendors and Entrepreneurs, BARVEN, is issuing a strong call to coconut vendors to take better care of the facilities provided to them, warning that opportunities can vanish if they are abused. The call after vendors at the Newton Christchurch facility complained about the removal of tents, which they say has caused a decline in their business. Barvin Roving Communications Officer Robert Maloney says the vendors are their biggest enemy since they have not adhered to the rules and regulations that were set for them. He says Export Barbados invested heavily providing tents, water access, skips for waste and other amenities, but some vendors failed to keep the area clean, allowing shells to pile up and creating unsanitary conditions.
Each tent was split between two persons. So two persons could occupy your tent. So when the tent is full, there's a number on it, just so they were being offered what we could consider a great opportunity. But instead of utilizing that, this is what they choose to do. They let the shells build up all around, all under the tent, that when the guy was cutting them, he was throwing them right there and the skip was right in front of him. So I tell him, well, this behavior is only going to lead to one thing. People that are trying to assist you will see that it is not going, you are not complying. So therefore, we cannot invest money for it to be destroyed. So therefore, Barvin cannot be encouraging that, to look to destroy what you would call facilities, government facilities, just because they're being provided for you. So therefore, action was taken on that matter.
From midnight, customers will be paying more for petrol. The retail price of gasoline will be adjusted to $3.94 per litre and diesel $3.32 per litre. This will represent an increase of 2 cents for gasoline and 10 cents for diesel. Kerosene will remain at $1.27 per litre, while there will be a decrease in the price of liquefied petroleum gas. A 100-pound cylinder will now cost $165.10. A 25-pound cylinder will retail at $46.37. The 22-pound cylinder will be $40.97, and the 20-pound cylinder will cost $37.25. Participants in this year's King's Daughters Fulfilling Divine Purpose program have been told to embrace the sisterhood. The group of women, the youngest being 11 and the oldest 80 years old, had the opportunity to redesign, reset, restore, repair, reignite, and resuscitate themselves. Under the theme Encounter, the women had the opportunity to transform themselves in a makeover model presentation. Rochelle Agard has that story.
102 women who engaged in the King's Daughters Fulfilling Divine Purpose program have been encouraged to seek out new opportunities with an open heart. The advice from President Andrea Harris as they graduated following a 15-week journey of release and restoration.
To date, we've had over 1,600 daughters participate in the program, with this year being our 12th cohort. We've seen many lives empowered, transformed, helped, healed, and equipped in so many ways.
Patron of the King's Daughters program, Barbados' High Commissioner to Ghana, Her Excellency Juliet Bino Sutherland, tells the women her important number is 10,143. This, she says, represents the number of days since she gave her life to God. Ambassador Bino Sutherland says the program has played an important role in her life, and she urged the women to spread the gospel.
I'm one of 1,600 women in Barbados, in the wider Caribbean. There's some in Jamaica, other parts of the region, from 12 cohorts of women who've participated in this wonderful, life-changing program. But the most important number of all is 0. Is it a number? I think 0. 0 is the number of times as a king's daughter that I have felt alone and abandoned by God in my time of need and in the challenges that I have faced. 0. Never.
Meanwhile, chairman of the Barbados Private Sector Association, Dr. Tricia Tanis, recounting the story of Ruth in the Bible, tells the women that God has the ability to change their lot in life. She also tells them they are not defined by their circumstances and are not alone on their journey.
Today, your circumstances may not be perfect, but God is not dead. He can make a valley of dry bones live, and he can move powerfully in our hearts and lives to restore our relationships, our homes, our children, our marriages, and everything that is surrendered to him.
At the end of the proceedings, Aaliyah Sampson was crowned Queen Esther Ambassador for 2025. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
A St. George resident is expected to appear in court tomorrow, charged with a number of drug and firearm-related offences. Akeem Justin Lane, 31, of Flat Rock, St. George, will face charges of possession of a firearm and 7 rounds of ammunition, as well as possession of 1.038 kilograms of cannabis with intent to supply and trafficking the illegal drug. The drugs also carry a street value of $4,152. The offences all allegedly occurred on August 2nd. Lane is scheduled to appear in the District B Magistrates Court.
Well, the Junior Pan American Games officially got underway last night in Paraguay. Barbados has a 29-member squad at the Games, and part of the contingent joined the 41 countries on parade in the opening ceremony at the Francisco del Checo Stadium. Thousands of spectators enjoyed the music, art, and culture that marked the official start of the most important youth multi-sport event in the Americas. Then the Pan American torch was brought in and the cauldron was lit, which will remain that way until August 23rd. At the end of the ceremony, the formal part of the event took place with the raising of the Pan American Sports and International Olympic Committee flags, as well as the speeches by the officials. Meantime, Team Barbados was in full competition mode today with 5 athletes in action. The highlight performance was from swimmer Heidi Stout this morning. She finished 4th in Heat 3 of the women's 400-meter freestyle and 8th overall in a time of 4 minutes 27.10 seconds. That's a new Barbados 15 to 17 age group record and enough for her to advance to the A final. In the big showdown this evening in that A final, Stout swimming in lane 8 at the bottom of your screen finished 8th in a time of 4 minutes 27.45 seconds. The winner was Adriana Hein of Argentina in a Junior Pan Am record of 4 minutes 06.96 seconds. Meanwhile, another swimmer, Jaya Simmons, was 11th overall in the heats of the women's 200-meter butterfly in a personal best of 2 minutes 26.53 seconds. Then in the B final this evening, Simmons was 3rd in a time of 2 minutes 23.95. In the men's section, Joshua Ross was 18th overall in the 100-meter breaststroke, and Victor Ashby also 18th overall in the men's 200-meter butterfly. In shooting, Kalicia Clark did not advance in the women's 10-meter air pistol qualification round. She finished 19th overall with a total of 511 points. Barbados men have dropped to 0-2 at the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2027 America's pre-qualifiers in Mexico, going down to the hosts last night by 35 points. Barbados kept it close in the first 2 quarters, only being down 25-24 after the first and 58-46 at halftime. However, Mexico blew the game open in the 3rd quarter, outscoring Barbados by 16 points to eventually win 113-78. Carl Thorpe was the top scorer for the Bajan men with 16 points, while Deroney Hurley had 15, Kassarian Adams 13, and Kyrwan Alexander 10. Barbados' final fixture tonight is a bottom-of-the-table clash with Costa Rica who have also lost their 2 games so far. And Jamaica and Mexico will play to see who will top that Group A. Well, Enisa, ridden by Jarrell Beckles, won last night's feature race at the Garrison Savannah, the Season of Emancipation Handicap. Going 1,100 meters, Enisa clocked 1 minute, 06.2 seconds.
Away they go, and Renee may have just been a little slow to go, but out front, Lightning Lewis goes on, and here goes Major Dan. So it is Lightning Lewis on the inside. Major Dan goes through on the outside. Then Enisa, your favorite, is in the 3 path. On the outside is Donna's True Bling. Renee has caught the field and goes up there. Then it's Undisputed at the back of affairs. That's the way the race as they head up the hill. And it is Major Dan in front now by 3 parts of a length. Enisa is in second. Then there's a gap of about a length or so back to Donna's True Bling. 2 lengths back to Renee. And then Lightning Lewis and Undisputed are going the wrong direction. 25 flat for the opening quarter as Major Dan continues to lead Enisa. They're still up top. In about 3rd position is Donna's True Bling as they come to the corner. And it is a match race up top. And it is Major Dan. Here comes Enisa on the outside. And down the stretch they come. It is Enisa and Major Dan. Enisa and Major Dan. But Enisa is just class. Oh, there she goes. Very easily in the end. Enisa wins it.
That's our news for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.